Hi everyone, welcome to Insider Gyan. So, on this channel, we are trying to bring deep dives of various career options. So, today's video is going to be a part of that. We already have a very detailed few videos on consulting, which I am going to link it up over here. So, go and watch them. But today, it's going to be all about investment banking because from the questions that I get, it seems like a lot of people are interested in investment banking. And I have an investment banker in my home, so I just requested him to share his point of views on how to get into investment banking, what kind of skill sets are required, what does a life of an investment banker look like, what does the salaries look like, exit options, career path, everything. So let's get started.
Hi, I am Akhil. I have been working for investment banking mainly focused on M&A for close to 6 years now. I worked in India, Hong Kong, and Singapore. To understand what an investment banker do, you need to understand what are the different divisions within investment banking. So the investment banking can be broadly classified either as industry teams or as product teams. For the product teams, the main teams are M&A, which are mergers and acquisitions, where let's say one company acquires the other company. Then there are equity capital markets, which are involved in let's say the IPO of the new companies or raising capital from public investors for existing listed companies. And there are debt capital markets, which are usually helping companies raise bonds and debts. So for a particular deal, depending on what kind of product a client wants, the product team gets involved and the associated industry team also gets involved to let's say help investors understand the equity story of the company or how to present that company to the investors and so on. So this is a very common misconception which is very important to get cleared, that for investment banking you don't need very technical skills. So it is very different from your usual let's say finance roles, be it markets or let's say structuring or derivatives, where you need a lot of let's say very technical knowledge. Investment banking is much more simpler than that in terms of skills. At the initial level, you need some basic valuation skills, which in any case you learn during your either your undergrad or during your MBA. But the skills which are more important for investment banking are your people skill and your communication skills. You need to present yourself well. You need to manage people during negotiation, or it is a very client focused, client centric role.
So, where do investment banks hire from?
Let's say if we talk specifically about India for this question, in India also there are different kind of investment banks, right? So there is bulge bracket global investment banks. They usually hire at the starting level from your tier one MBA colleges. Then there are boutique investment banks, or there are back offices of those global investment banks. Both these boutique investment banks and back offices of those global investment banks usually hire from tier 2 colleges. So let's say the tier 2 IMs or your FMS or XLRI and so on. Especially the middle office or the back office of these investment banks also hire from good undergrad colleges as well. So these are the two levels where at the starting level you can join an investment bank. In terms of lateral hiring, the global investment banks can are open to people coming from boutique investment banks. They also let's say reallocate their own resources from their back offices to their front offices. They are also open to people who have worked in back offices of other investment banks to come to their front offices, and they are also open to let's say other candidates from consult or some extent from corporate jobs as well.
About the interview, like what are the different kind of questions asked and how should people prepare for it?
So again, this is when I talk about this question, this is at a starting level interview. At this time, people care about candidates who have basics of valuation skills, but more importantly, they have the motivation to work hard during investment banking career, because as you all know that for investment banking the hours are a bit long, so we really need to test the people's motivation to join investment banking. The areas which you need to focus during your preparation for such interviews is at least some basic level of valuation. You need to understand what techniques would you use to value a company, and let's say how it would differ from one sector to another sector. I usually advise candidates to at least prepare one good company and one good sector which they can talk about during the interview if that comes up. But then you should also focus on your motivation to join investment banking. If you have a past relevant experience, that obviously helps your case, but you should be very motivated to join investment banking, and you should be very clear that it will entail long hours, and that should come across during your conversation in your interview. We usually obviously ask, why do you want to join investment banking? What is your career path according to you? How do you, let's say, want to grow within investment banking? And then we usually refer to the work or any kind of projects you would have done in your undergrad, or any kind of past work experience which you might have, to understand what you have done during that time and how that would help you uh, when you start your career in investment banking.
And what does the career path look like?
So when we talk about global, let's say bulge bracket investment banks, as I told you, they hire from MBA, but they hire you as analyst too. So you usually spend two years as analyst, then you are promoted to associate, and you spend 3 years as an associate, then again 3 years as vice president, and then the levels are executive director and managing director. But at what time, or after how many years would you be promoted to executive director or managing director is up to your performance. So these are the levels. In terms of how your role changes, as an analyst, you would be doing much more of the grunt work. So it will be all, let's say, valuation, modeling, preparing slides for the meetings, preparing slides for the execution. So it is more of the grunt work which you would be doing, but those are your formative years, because that is where you learn all the basic skills of investment banking. As an associate, you still do that, but your focus also changes to overall project management. You guide your analysts to do the work. You are more responsible for reviewing the work, making sure the analysts are learning while you are learning your skills to delegate and review. So that is your focus as an associate, and overall project management. As you graduate towards VP, again, project management is the key, but also comes with that your responsibility to cover the client. So actually, let's say you start leading client conversations, you will start leading the meetings, you would generate ideas to present to the client. So it is much more becoming focused towards client management as a VP. And then when you become an ED, you build on those client relationships to actually be responsible for bringing business to the firm from those clients. So you would be very focused on client coverage and ensuring that you bring the business to the firm. And then again, between ED and MD, the lines get blurred, but the MD is usually has much more responsibility. He or she has a big wallet size which they need to defend and make sure that they are bringing all the business from all the clients to the firm. So that is how you usually progress.
And any kind of specific profile building needs to be done.
There is no specific criteria which we look while shortlisting the candidate. Obviously, we still need to base something on something to prepare the shortlist. So we usually look for anything which might be somewhat relevant to the kind of work we are doing. So I would suggest, if you are trying to build your career in investment bank, and whether you are in your undergrad or MBA, try to do more finance related courses, try to do projects for on valuation, or enter case competitions where there are, let's say, valuation aspects, or the fact that you are preparing pitch books or modeling. So all that would help, because otherwise someone who is very good in extracurriculars do get shortlisted as well, but you would give yourself an edge if you direct your electives and your extracurriculars more focused towards financing and valuation kind of aspect, so that we know that you have been motivated for a while to join investment bank. And in general, what we try to look for during the resume shortlisting is obviously your pedigree, right? If you have come from a good college, that gives you a sense of comfort. If you have done, let's say, multiple things during your college life, that gives us comfort. But the underlying theme, even let's say, if we because we hire a lot of chartered accountants as well, and we hire from Delhi University or other usual colleges as well, so it's not as if you need to be an engineer. But what we do look for is that you have handled different responsibilities during your college, and you have excelled in it. So maybe you have a very good CGPA, but you have also done a lot of work in your extracurriculars, or let's say you have had a lot of positions or responsibilities, because that gives us comfort that you have been able to stretch yourself to handle multiple things and you have done well in all of those things.
What does the life of an investment banker look like?
There are long hours involved, right? There is no doubt about it. But your focus is very much, you know what you're doing during those long hours. So it's not mindless work. And you yourself are motivated when you are spending those long hours, because that is the only way someone can work such hours, right? So usually when we talk about long hours, those are only when there is a live execution, when there's a client deadline or there is something which needs to be signed or announced, that we end up working such long hours usually. Because for normal marketing or day-to-day work, nobody would spend weekends or late nights doing that. That is one thing. So what we mean by long hours is that there is no start and stop time in our job. It's not as if we will start at 9 a.m. and we'll stop at 9 p.m. So you should be mentally prepared that for a particular day you might be working let's say 1 or 2 or maybe 3 a.m. at night, and then you need to start again. So that is what we mean, that there is no demarcation or there is no set time, and you need to be mentally available and physically available to do that job if required during that day. But the other aspects of investment banking, which are usually the ones which attract people as well, is that you are actually doing deals which grab headlines. So that is a key motivation for most of the people, that you're doing such big deals which can change the fate of companies and at times even countries, which gives you all that motivation and a sense of power. That is also a part of your life. The other part of your life is you develop relationships with your colleagues, with clients, which last your lifetime, because you're working so hard and you're working so hard either with them or for them and giving them advice or mentoring them, that you make those relationships for lifetime. And most of my friends are still from my job, and we sit outside work also, we have drinks, we party and all that aspect. We are involved in each other's personal life, so all that you carry for your lifetime during your time at investment banking. Obviously then there is this aspect on monetary benefits, because you get paid well, you at least are not worried about that aspect of your life. So you don't need to worry about, let's say, your next trip, and it can be planned in a very short time, and most of the time it does, because we don't know when exactly we would be able to take some time off. So as soon as we get that clarity, we plan everything in a very short time, and then we are able to travel a lot, visit exotic places, be it foreign trips or within India. So all those good aspects are also a part of investment banking life. So all this is the, let's say, the pros and cons which you need to make sure you understand before you decide to become an investment banker. I think for a bulge bracket global investment bank, roughly you can say that it's about, the starting salary is about 35 lakhs to 40 lakhs per annum. That is your base salary, and then you get bonus on top of that. In terms of bonus, it is very dependent on your performance. So it can vary from, let's say, 50% of your base salary to as high as 100% or even more in a good year. So it's very subjective, but usually in investment banking, bonus is a very big component of your salary, and at times it is equal or at par with your base salary as well. So let's say if you are getting paid 100%, which is not unheard of, your salary actually doubles, right? If you include the bonus aspect, so from 35 lakhs you will become 70 lakhs. So it is a very significant portion of your income. So that cannot be ignored and should be budgeted when you're deciding upon career prospects. You can simply not compare only the base salaries to make your decision on. And usually the jumps also vary, but you can, and this is very ballpark. You can assume that at the same level, let's say when you're jumping from one analyst 1 to 2 to 3, it's usually 10%. And when you're jumping levels from analyst to associate to ED, you can say it's between 15 to 20%. So when you are thinking about exit options, you need to understand that what skills you acquire during investment banking. And as I told you earlier, that there is no specialized job which you are doing in investment banking. It's either valuation, or it's project management, or it's people management. So any company which values these skills would be willing to hire you if you want to exit. So in your earlier years, it's usually the private equity firms where we exit to, because they are also looking for good companies to invest in. And to identify those companies, they would need to know people. They need to have people who have those valuation skills to value the company, who understand the company and the sector to be able to select good companies to invest in, and they also need people who have relationships which they can leverage to actually identify companies which might be attractive to people. So that's this exit option usually during the earlier years. As you move up the career in your investment banking, your exit options change. As you become older, you usually exit to the strategy development or the M&A department of other corporate organizations, because most of these organizations, especially the startups, because they are growing so fast, they need to expand so fast, they have dedicated departments focusing on, let's say, mergers and acquisitions, or let's say other small investments they need to do to expand rapidly, and they have those dedicated departments which are run by past investment bankers, which help the company to expand and to acquire. So that is also one of your exit options. Or if you have been, let's say, a particular industry banker for all your life, and you have developed significant industry knowledge, then you can move to very high, let's say, CXO roles in a company in that industry as well. So if you want to exit, there are a lot of options. What limits the exit most of the times is that because as you grow up in investment banking, your salary also rises accordingly, right? So there are very limited options which can match that salary level. So as long as you are willing to take that cut in salary, then you have a lot of exit options. So that was all about investment banking. Hope you liked the video and it helped you clarify your questions. If you have more questions, feel free to put them in the comments below and we will answer them there. And please do subscribe to the channel, because we are trying to make a forum where we can share our knowledge with you guys.